Ah, here we are, masters of the universe. It wouldn't be a dull Thursday morning if we didn't have a little bit of car maintenance. So we're here. It's time for our classic little Sherwood diner. I think I'm going to get something different today, though. But we shall see. Hello. Just one.
One soul.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Just water's fine. Thanks. Very funny, Hilness. Very funny. I have learned, sir, that 1,000-egg stare of mine had been forged, as they say. All right, let's see who's going to be. I'll be with you in 1 second.
Hi. Hi, do you need a minute?
Yeah, please.
Yep, take your time.
Thanks.
You already got a drink water.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
Perfect. Whenever you're ready, Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. What am I going to get? So typically what I get is I typically get the Sherwood sampler, which is good. I like that quite a bit. Also, how are you, Hilmas? But I usually get this, but I'm thinking today I want to get something different. Oh, that's good. I'm glad, man. I'm thinking eggs today. I'm thinking, let's see, maybe a classic breakfast. Maybe I get an omelet. I very seldom get an omelet. Maybe I will get an omelet.
No, you can't. Unless you have that.
I could do hash and eggs. I could do avocado toast. I could do Benedict. Yeah, I'm not feeling the full breakfast today. You got your truck back. When did you lose? You lost your truck? Did I know about this? No, we're gonna go with breakfast. You loaned it to your brother-in-law. You haven't had it since January 5th. Did he bring it back to you in good order, I hope? All right. All right, that's good. Well, I'm glad that you got your truck back. Did you get it back with like 50,000 more miles? All sorts of life happened, yeah. About 6K since January. Okay, that's not crazy. What kind of a truck do you have? I think you've told me this before, but I'm going with the 3-egg omelet, I think. Okay. Oh, your dad's 2015 F-150. Oh. I was going to say, I thought it was like, oh, that's, yeah, huh. How does it feel driving that, Hilmas? I mean, I mean, you know, emotionally, so to speak. I'm curious. Because I had a situation like that where I took over my mom's car. This is obviously many years ago now, but yeah, I know what I'm getting. I'm getting eggs. Let me reverse. Hello. Hello, chat. Can I do that? I can. It's surreal, but not too bad.
were you the one you had pictures? Yeah. I was like, that was so cool. And then I was, wait, where did you see her? And then you come, where is it?
Oh, geez, illness. Good God. That's one of those like, okay, I'm good. Could I have an omelet, please? And I'm going to get it if I could with, I can like build my own, right?
Yes.
Okay. So could I get just feta, a little bit of feta, broccoli, and ham? That'd be great.
That comes with hash browns and sourdough toast.
That's good.
Do you use ketchup?
No.
No?
Thank you. Anyway, yeah, that's one of those like, and I'm sure it was like one of those things that just wouldn't even occur, you know. But boy, oh man, yeah, it's a strange experience. It's you know, for me, and it was two different situations because, you know, in my father's case it was a car accident. So in my father's case, I was literally sitting in one of my graduate classes. I was doing my PhD work at Brandeis, and I was sitting in a class, and the chair of my division, of my department, came in and was like, you know, Greg, we have this emergency. You know, you need to come with me to. And I immediately was like, they wouldn't pull me out for something that, like, especially a graduate class. I was like, okay. And I went down to his office where there's a phone call, and that's where my mom gave me the news, and I was just like, oh my God. And that was like, obviously just you know, like getting hit by a truck from, you know, because of like, it was just totally shocking in every way. And then the second time was my mom was from cancer, and so it was like a much slower thing. And it was, you're right about the surreal part, and the grief is something that comes in waves. It's uneven, you know, and little things will help you remember. Like you'll be like, oh yeah, this occurs, and then you'll, like the situation of seeing a bag of their clothes, like you said, it's, you know, we're dealing with that with extended family right now, and like it is a strange experience to go through it. And then the other thing is that it's, when it's a parent, it's a milestone thing too. You know, it's a thing where you're like, oh, like these people that were always, there's John Mayer has a line in Stop This Train, which is a good song. John Mayer has a line that says, I'm one generation's length away from finding life out on my own, which is a good line. And it does feel a little bit like that. There's sort of the before, they're there, and then after. So, yeah. Like I've said, you know, being gentle and understanding that it's going to go in an uneven way is important. And recognizing that time does smooth these things out. Like the loss never goes, but they smooth these things out. And also everyone's relationship is different too, so, but yeah. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. You immediately think like, oh, I need to call, oh, you know, or like, it would be good, like in my case, for my dad, you know, I mean, I graduated with my PhD, and of course, he wasn't there, and he was a big reason that I ended up going to Brandeis. It was because of connections that he had suggested it. Not connections getting me in. I got in because I got in, but he had known people that had gone to the graduate programs there, and he was like, "This is a place you ought to consider." And I did, and it turned out to be an incredibly important decision in my life, because it was not only a top like place to go, but it was also, that allowed me to coach the debate team, and that meant that I ended up sort of reconnecting with my wife, and then who was at the time not my wife, obviously, and then we, you know, started dating, and then engaged and married, and now we have 2 kids and the whole bit, and we've been married, you know, over 20 years now. And that all happened because of that. And so that, him not being there when I marched across the stage, him not being there was, my mother was there, the other family was there, but that was tough, because my dad and I were sort of the ones who had planned out how the graduate stuff might look. And so him not being there, and now all these things, like, right, like, you know, milestones that happened in my career, like when I got tenure, that's the kind of thing, I mean, I would have called, you know, I was able to tell my mother before she passed. I did get tenure before she went, but my dad was gone, and so I couldn't say anything, you know. Hey, what's up, Echo? Nobody crashed anything. Car is just in for its regular maintenance. There was a tire pressure light on, and I was worried that meant that I had to get brakes or something, but I just got brakes, so they don't think it's that. I think it's just like a regular or whatever. So, but yeah, we're just talking about parents and loss of parents and things like that, Echo. So yeah, it was something though, to sort of be remembered of these things. Yeah, I know. That's right. That's my fault. I clearly made the mistake of not stopping. If only I had known. It's funny. Sometimes around some of the roads around here, it feels like that. Like, that's right. Well, it's my dad used to say this too. Like, you can get away with roads that are not in the best condition because the tires are so good now. Like the steel belted radials, the tires when like my dad's generation was growing up were horrible comparatively. Like they would have looked at these roads and been like, and our roads are fine, they're not horrific or anything, but the sort of bottom outs or whatever, one of those bottom outs, you'd be done. So. But anyway, how you doing, Echo? I wonder if that music is going to get it. It just struck me. I bet it will. Last time I had this and I had music playing in the background, it sort of didn't demonetize it. I guess it did. It wasn't a strike, but admiring my new your new smartphone. I see. Did you get an iPhone 6 billion or did you get an Android? Yeah. Actually, just got the university just issued us Android for Life. Okay, I figured you were an Android person. My university just issued us our new. We get laptops every 4 years because they have this big like contract with Lenovo. So I just got I got the new ThinkPad, which is it's like last year's model, late last year's model, but still. And oh, that's cool. Yeah, I had Samsung for a while. But, oh man, this laptop, the keyboard is chef's kiss, like so good. It's like, ThinkPads are always known about the keyboards, but man, this thing is like tactile, tappity tap tap. I was like, this is going to be great. So, and supposedly, I don't know because I just got it a couple days ago, but supposedly the battery life is much better than the one that I had. I had this Yoga, which they gave me because my older ThinkPad wasn't working, so they just gave me a Yoga to use for basically a year, and it was fine, but I don't really need a convertible, honestly, so I got that, and this one is also a convertible, but it's not, because it's the only option. It's either that or a MacBook, and I'm not getting a MacBook. But the keyboard, it's a full-size keyboard. It's just a much better keyboard than what I had before. So, excited. Have I read your DM to me about Facing War? I don't know, Echo. I just turned in final grades this morning, so I've been a little preoccupied, and also getting ready for ArvCon and stuff like that. So when I get home today, I will check again. It sort of sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah. Oh, interesting. Interesting. You mean his final year as General Secretary, you mean? Not final year of life, but final year as General Secretary? That's good. That's good. Yeah, well, negotiations are, ongoing now, although our clown of a president is in the midst of it, so God knows what that's going to mean. But right now the Supreme Court is hearing arguments on birthright citizenship, which is a joke. Like, they never should have even considered the case, let alone, it should have been dismissed completely. But anyway, so we shall see. Oh, key test for the AI trade, says CNBC. Well, let's hope it collapses like a pathetic balloon. We will see. Monday's my big AI conference panel where I'm going to be debating. This is a St. John's convention, so it's for St. John's people, but they already have 65, 70 people signed up for it. So.
All right, honey, here you go.
Great. Thank you.
I forgot if you said you wanted.
I didn't, but it's okay.
That's good.
It's fine. Thanks. Oh, I saw that. I did see that. Yeah. I saw that. Italian who lives like a hobbit in Italy. There are worse things. I feel like there are worse things. All right, here you go, chat. So today we've got an omelet. We got feta, broccoli, ham, hash browns, and sourdough toast. It's splendid, yeah. That's pretty cool. A hobbit in Italy. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, the thing is, right, that hobbits, basically a hobbit, to be a hobbit is to essentially be like an Englishman in the 1930s of some means. Like, not rich, but just kind of comfortable. So they don't get mansions or whatever. They just have comfortable little place, got a small garden, whatever. Very chill. That was one of the reasons I always The Hobbit was always the opening of it is very chill, as is frankly the opening a little bit of the Lord of the Rings. Some people say too much so, but they're wrong. So. Echo, when I was doing the backup for my laptop before I got this new one, I came across the video files. I used to do a show called Upon Further Review with my wife, where we would just review a bunch of things. This is back in the heady days of podcasting. And so we did one film, and we called it Upon Further Review in Norway. This is when we went to Norway for a Norwegian conference. And so I think at some point I should screen it for on the channel, and just sort of get people's reactions to it. I would love to see what a native Norwegian thought of our trip, which started in Oslo and then went to Flan, and then we visited a glacier, and then ended up at some point in Bergen, which is where the conference was. But I'd be curious to see what a Norwegian thought of it. And this is back in 2007. My wife was pregnant with Little Arv at the time when we went there. So a lot of her memories of the early part of the trip are basically her feeling nauseous all the time because of, morning sickness with the kid. Hey! What's up, Imaginary? How are you? Breakfast time for you, dinner time for... All right, well, so my breakfast time is this. No, I'm not going to do it that way. So this is my breakfast. We got a ham, feta, and broccoli omelet, hash browns, and sourdough toast. It was great. So what's your dinner? I say all that to say what's dinner time for you, Imaginary? And Flan was beautiful, Echo. It was really gorgeous. Just huge, waterfalls and all that. It was really beautiful. Boiled potatoes, some chicken nuggets. All right. Are there any yeah, no, for sure. Any other like vegetable, like green vegetable type things? Imaginary or just the basics? I like potatoes, honestly. Potatoes. Ah, okay. Ah, cafe or canteen. I see, I see. Mm-hmm. Salad is good. Vegetables that are minimally processed are usually a good idea if you're able to. Not everyone is. Although, it's important, you want to stay less processed if you can. But I get a little bit twitchy sometimes when people are like, that's the only way to eat vegetable. Nonsense. It's better to have greens than not. And it's better to have less processed if you can. But the idea that you have a processed vegetable, you're somehow doing evil to yourself is silly. Eat what you can eat. Sometimes it's an economic thing or an access thing.
How's everything, sir?
It's good, thank you.
Good. Hi, good morning.
Okroshka.
For one more?
A salad with very much sauce. Really? Okroshka.
She said no coffee.
Interesting.
Coffee. Beautiful.
And I take creamers.
Cream?
Is it,
Milk? I'll put mix. Yeah.
what was I going to say? It's treated as a summer cold soup, I see. So can I ask what the sauce essentially is? Like, what's the dressing?
Never
Like
mind.
here would be like, there'd be dressings like vinaigrette or ranch or blue cheese or there's a whole bunch of different kinds. Yeah, sorry. Okroshka.
So,
I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to see this description. If you take milk, you let it go sour, you get cheese and liquid. That liquid is edible and it's a constituent part of the soup. Add some broth and you get the dressing. I see. So it's sour milk liquid. Sour milk liquid with broth. Wow. That is not what I would have imagined. But imaginary, you've heard my theory, right? Which is some of our best food is actually failed food, right? Matzah bread, bread that didn't rise. Sour cream. Blue cheese is moldy cheese. It's literally moldy cheese, but it's edible and it's good. All we need to do is have food that fails, and then it's good. Just need to let food fail more.
I tried to. So I'm Margarita, and I'll be taking care of you, okay? Whenever you guys are ready, I'll be right here. No, but let her get, yeah. Let me do a couple of
Food out of necessity. Well, yeah.
Yep.
That's, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair, and that's, yeah. That's kind of like what I was talking about before, I think before you came on, about access. Oh, no, I was just talking about that. Sorry, that was about the processed vegetable thing. About access, you know. Some people make it out of necessity. There's a dish in the U.S. South. Ah, yes, that's right, Norway's birthday. I think that's when we were out there, actually, Echo, now that I think of it. I think we were out there for Norway's birthday 20 plus years ago. Imaginary, there's a dish in the American South which I think is called hard scrabble, and I think it's essentially comes from it's just like a bunch of food that was thrown together because it was like odds and ends and stuff like that. I think it's called hard scrabble. Well, I know it's called hard scrabble, but I don't remember the exact origin. But I believe it had its origin during the time of the Civil War. That was sort of assembling this food together because it was the best they could do. Hey, what's up, Dan? Hello, welcome. We're talking food and how the origins of food, Dan. That's what we're doing right now. So. Ah. Yes. I got out of bed not long ago. The joy of time zones. Imaginary, right now I too am having Hey Gary. I too am having potatoes, except mine are of the hash brown variety. Don't forget, folks, it is. It really is the best meal. My dad always used to say that. That sounds real delicious, yeah. I've concluded, Imaginary, that it is impossible to make food in a crock pot that isn't awesome. Or like basically slow cooker. Slow cooked food is automatically good. I don't think I've ever had a bad slow cooked meal. Same. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Is a slow cooked meal? Yeah. It's the same theory as to why sometimes leftovers, like American Thanksgiving, a lot of people say that the leftovers from American Thanksgiving are better than the original meal. And I think a lot of it is just you have time for the food flavors to merge. So you just get, it even becomes more delicious. Yeah. Slow cookers are great. I tripped. Yeah. It's just, I feel like anytime anyone's like, I slow cooked food, and then you eat it, you're like, this is tremendous. Like, a lot of good things come out of a wok, too. Stir fry, very good. We have a rice cooker, which everyone's like, why would you need a rice cooker? You need a rice cooker because those things put out a lot of freaking rice, because you eat a lot of rice with these different things. Like, I had my favorite food that's, my favorite kind of, since in America, my favorite sort of not just American standard food is Indian food. But I don't like super spicy. And it occurred to me that Indian food is amazing, but if you don't have rice, you can use bread to kind of soak up some of the sauce, but like 50% of Indian food is the sauce. So having rice that allows you to basically soak that up really helps. Oh man. Chicken shag, samosa, chicken tikka masala, lamb biryani, sign me up. Oh, love Indian food. Again, as long as it's not super spicy. I do not like a lot of like. I am a pathetic child of the ways of spice. I don't love spice, huge spice. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's one of those foods sometimes where even if it's spicy, you eat it and you're like, this is delicious, and then you're like downing water and like whatever, and you have to eat it very slowly because of the level of spice. I am a mild person. These are true facts. Salted fried chicken and ghost chill sambai ground in pestle and mortar. Wow, so you do not have the problem with spice, Dan, that I was talking about, huh? And rice. Spice must flow. What's up, Speed Tech? How are you? Good to see you. Well, wait. Triffid, what is Raita, though? Oh, the yogurt, that's right. Oh, this is a funny story. All right, so after my daughter, we went to the Capitol to advocate for funding last week. She was one of the students that was there. And she was awesome, as usual. But on the way back, we stopped to get food. And we stopped to get Indian food. So she's eating this chicken, I think it was chicken tikka masala. It's spicy, and at some point the server comes over and he's like, would you like some mango lassi? And she's like, what? And he's like, she said, I'm sorry? And she's like, would you like some mango lassi? And she was like, didn't know what that was. I'm like, he's asking you because he thinks it will help with the heat. And it was exactly the way. She's like, oh. And he brought over the lassi, which is a yogurt drink. And it's the same principle, basically, Triffid, like, to cut that down. So, hi, Mrs. Dunsel. You like spicy food? It doesn't need to be dead mild. It doesn't need to be dead mild. But oh my goodness, there are so many times where when it's too spicy, I feel like all I taste is the spice. I don't even get to the food. Like, I love the sort of savory richness of Indian food, and I can't get there if it's like, yes, that's the dealership. Born in Southeast Asia, you have +10 to spicy resistance. All right, bear with me a second, chat. It's transcribing the